What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of Indiana State basketball here on College Hoops 2K8. Last time out, we pulled a stunning upset against the Duke Blue Devils, but now we take on one of their conference opponents. We take on Georgia Tech here in this second round of the NCAA tournament. This is to get out of Denver and move on to the Sweet 16. And while this Georgia Tech team is certainly a lot better on paper than what we may be, that doesn't mean that we can't pull off something incredible here in this NCAA tournament. So, that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new to the channel as well. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get things going. The second round of the NCAA tournament is officially underway, and we'll start almost with a bucket. Oh, just incredible, left it short. Right in front of you, buddy. You're a 7-footer, and you can't get that to go. That's crazy to me. But we do force a nice defensive possession of our own. So it starts with a chalk line. 0-0 your score. But it won't take too much longer for us to get the first points of the game. It's John Phillips is going to get that basket to go. And that's how the first points are going to be scored here in this second round. A nice little John Phillips shot, but Baraseka, he wants to go deep. No good, but just incredible. Still can't finish inside. Really struggling out of the gate. Shots that, to be honest with you, he normally would make. But he doesn't get that one to go, unfortunately, and Georgia Tech is trying to take advantage. Quentin Hoffman going inside, and that's good to go. So 6-2 going to be your score, as Indiana State is trying to remain in it. We got a steal, though, with Scott Smalls going coast to coast and lays it down. Scott Smalls is playing big, baby. Let's go, man. Absolutely love to see it. As now it's 7-6 your score, as Baraseka tries to hit the three-pointer. That's no good. Gentry is able to shoot from deep with JoJo Thompson. No good either. So leaving points off the table, and Georgia Tech goes the other way and is going to draw a personal foul. And Baraseka is already called for his second, so we might need more minutes from the likes of Chris Gentry. Maybe a Dan Ramos needs to step up. Gentry's going to try a pull from deep there. Not his shot, but thankfully gets lucky with JoJo Thompson working hard on those offensive rebounds. And with that, Indiana State actually does have a lead. But how long will that lead last, though, as we go back to Scott Smalls rolling coast to coast, and he lays it down again. Scott Smalls simply standing on business right now, as we have a 2-point lead. And we're going to grow that 2-point lead, trying to double it. No good. Clean look, but can't get it to go. But Faisal will somehow lay it through two of our guys, though. And that's the talent differential, though. I mean, that's good defense. I mean, nothing really that you could say aside from, just tip of the cap, and that's just a good bucket. But this is more of a defensive breakdown, though. Needs Scott Smalls to step up into the paint a little bit there. But now Georgia Tech has the lead and grows it because Chris Gentry couldn't be patient. He could not be patient there. And Corver's going to get his first assist of the game because of that. Plus, their best player comes back into the game. Just, you hate to see it. You absolutely hate to see it. Going inside for just incredible. That's no good. But Credible wants to lay it up again. Continuing to work hard and finally gets that one to go. Been a tough first half for just incredible. But at least he gets that bucket to go. And we have a tie ball game here at 15 apiece. Abuke with the free from the corner. That's good. And that's his first 3-point jumper of the ball game. Georgia Tech now officially up by 3. Trying to cut it back to John Phillips. Wanting to go inside. Credible tries to lay it up. That's no good. Now Georgia Tech is coming on the break. Trying to set up the 2-free defense. But that's not turned over. Georgia Tech somehow recovers it. Finds Neal on the inside and draws the foul on just incredible. That is going to be his first personal foul. And Georgia Tech makes one of 2 free throws. So we're down by 4. So 9 minutes left to play here in the first half as Mbuke turns down the free, but he hits the second one, though. No good. And just incredible gets his rebound as well. Ken Harris trying to lay it in, but it's a blocking foul. So while the basket does not count, obviously, because he didn't make it, Ken Harris will get a couple of free throws there. And honestly, could have been called a charge there. Looked like he might have set his feet. This might not have been done in the nick of time, but Phillips finds himself open with the mid-ranger. Danger! It's good! So a tie ball game here at 19 apiece as Indiana State has a chance to take the lead. Ken tries to lay it up in the paint, but is going to be fouled there as well. And those free throws will help the Sycamores take the lead, as Ken Harris will also try to post hook, but can't get that one to go. And Mbuke trying to lay it up on the outside, and he gets his second field goal to go. So now all knotted up at 21. It's been a pretty close first half so far, as Ken Harris gets the block. Scott Smalls with the rebound and the pass and the bucket as well. Indiana State has the lead again. So a 2-point lead for Indiana State. Just trying to finish these last 5.5 minutes. The Sycamores been playing pretty well, all things considered, but we just gave that lead up right away. Now all knotted up at 23 as we cannot give points up in transition. Simply have to be better than that. And now Georgia Tech has the momentum on their side. Nixon looking to go to work. He's got a smaller man on him, as Ken Harris, while he has the length to guard some of those bigger guys, he doesn't have the size or strength to cover some of those bigger guys as well. But he does have the quickness and quickly finds Tyber Guillen, who passes it to his teammate Scott Smalls. So the lead is back once again, but Nixon once more. Nixon trying to get the turnaround jumper, and it's good. As now Tyber Guillen, he's stuck in the trap. Got to move it around. Got Dan Ramos on the perimeter into just incredible, but he can't finish. Oh, a really good look, but he can't finish the bunny. And now Georgia Tech will have a chance to take the lead because Dan Ramos is called for a personal foul there. Thankfully, Georgia Tech does not make both its free throws, so it remains tied, but not for long. Indiana State is going to just stay strong, stay composed here, trying to finish these last 90 seconds strong. Tyber Guillen might go coast to coast here, and he does. And that's how Tyber Guillen gets his first points of the game, as we're trying to get things settled in. Trying to take one of the last shots of the first half. Just incredible. He's got 4 guys in the paint. Goes for it anyways. And sinks it. So just incredible. Had to waver through that first half. Its field goal percentage under 30%. And yet he has 9 points in this first half. One where we really had to struggle through. Points were definitely hard to come by. I mean, 1 for 10 from deep usually doesn't bode very well for us, but for now we are holding our own here. We are certainly holding our own here in this one, and just incredible with all of the pain and all of the struggles that he's had in the highlights. He's on the verge of a double-double still. 9 points, 10 rebounds already in this first half, and it's a close game, so I do expect him to get significant playing time here in this second half. But speaking of that second half, let's go ahead and get things officially underway as the Indiana State Sycamores open things up with 5-point lead. But Tashuse looks to cut it in half, and he does. He's been shooting well from the field. He's got 12, but we can shoot just as well ourselves, or at least I thought we could. John Phillips missing that. Not a great look, but throws it up, and it's good. Tashuse going crazy as he gets the alley-oop to go down. Some high flyers here at Georgia Tech for sure. And the momentum is starting to shift. But Scott Smalls is going to have one of the easiest layups in his college career, as I was simply just trying to pass it out to set up the offense. And I mean, this is something else, man. Scott Smalls, best player on the team. gets a wide open lane like that. That's wild to me. Not as wild as Quinn Hoffman going off, though, as they're going to call a foul here. It looks like it's on Baraseka, as that eventually leads to 2 free throws for Quinn Hoffman. Again, a questionable shooting foul. Didn't think it was actually in a meaningful shooting motion, but I might have been wrong. And we're just struggling to guard Quinn Hoffman on the glass. Usually something that we do pretty well as a team, and that's rebound, but that hasn't necessarily happened here much in this second half, as Korver is going to lay it up over Scott Smalls in order to give Georgia Tech the lead, as this Yellow Jacket squad is trying to go on a little bit of a run themselves, and it's not looking good for Indiana State all of a sudden, as Quinn Hoffman gets hacked there. Doesn't lead to any free throws, at least free throws made. But that being said, we have a chance to tie it back up, as getting it inside to Ken Harris. Back over to Barlett with the free. Bang! Barlett gets the free, and it temporarily gives us the lead, but not for very long, though, because after that, Georgia Tech gets a quick 4-0 spurt going in order to retake the lead. It's now a 2-point game here between these two teams, as Scott Smalls attempts the free. That's good! Scott Smalls gets left open and makes them pay for it. Really shooting with absolute confidence right now. And we got another close one, another barn burner. Can we have a little bit of a Cinderella story? None of Mbuko has something to say about it. Hits the free right in our face. And we turn the ball over on the next possession. Mbuko going the other way, lays it up, and it's good. Georgia Tech starting to pull away here, and the clock might be hitting midnight here soon for your Indiana State Sycamores, as we have an open free. Thankfully, they don't make us pay for it. Scott Smalls, on the other hand, finds Ken Harris, and it's an and one opportunity for the Sycamores after Ken Harris makes the layup and gets the foul as well, which we do make that layup. So trying to stay in contact for Georgia Tech. Down by 5. Last seconds on the shot clock. Ball is turned over. Now we're attacking. Harris, midi, bang! The mid-range danger is good. And we're now only down by 5. That being said, Georgia Tech trying to cling on to some air here a little bit, as Winston's going to go ahead. He gets a steal on us, actually finds Quinn Hoffman, and oh my, that is absolutely filthy. That man has a family, and man, they didn't have to see all of that. So Georgia Tech now up by 7, as we desperately need a spark here. Credible, helping to move the ball around. Got the pump fake. Baraseka settles for the mid-range danger, but can't sink it. Can't sink the 16-footer. And Georgia Tech again is going to go coast to coast here once more. And I think our team is starting to run out of gas. Down by 9 now, as Georgia Tech's looking for a dagger. Can they get it here? No, but Neal gets the offensive rebound. And Justin Credible is called for the foul. And now down by 11. That was out of a timeout, by the way. I wanted to point that out. I didn't even try to do anything crazy. I was just trying to pass it to like the person that's like closest to us. You saw how just off that pass was, right? So that being said, I think it's safe to say that we are cooked. We are absolutely getting cooked here, especially in these last few minutes. This is starting to turn to a little bit more of a formality, as Georgia Tech is going to sink yet another free here, as the Yellow Jackets up by 15 all of a sudden. JoJo Thompson will try a free. That's no good either. We know what the end result's going to be here. Glad we just didn't draw a foul there in the process. But yeah, man, a tough one to swallow, as Georgia Tech runs away with it. It's courtesy of Quinn Hoffman, who goes crazy in this tournament. 17 and 15 with 5 steals. Absolutely insane stuff. Now, before I talk about what our guys did today, I want to say this. I am really proud of what our team did. And yes, we faded quite a bit there towards the end, but What I will also say as well is that we hung with Georgia Tech with the majority of this game. I couldn't be more proud of this group of guys here in year number 1. With that said, we did have some bright spots in this game. Scott Smalls, while he couldn't necessarily score much in the second half, he did finish with 12 points, 5 assists, and he did also have 4 steals in this game as well, which we absolutely love to see. Baraseka, on the other hand, worst game I've ever seen. Basically was out there and doing cardio, 12 minutes, 3 turnovers. We did have some contributions from other people besides the small forward position. John Phillips nearly had a double-double in this game, 18 points, 8 rebounds, did have multiple steals in this game. And then Justin Credible was literally just 1 point away too, 9 points and 12 rebounds. However, just shot a putrid 4 for 16 from the field. You simply can't have that. As for our bench, guys, I mean, we actually got decent production from our bench, and we were led by Ken Harris on the bench, though. He had 11 points and 2 steals in the game. While he couldn't really score from the field like we wanted to, he did go 5 for 7 from the free throw line, so he was aggressive, even if that shot didn't necessarily fall. It's a tough way to go out, but I'm proud that we were able to be one of the bottom dwellers in the not the Mountain West, but the Missouri Valley Conference. Found a way to win 4 games in 4 days in conference tournament, and then won an NCAA tournament game as well. Hope we can build some momentum going into the future. So what we ended up doing after we finished the regular season out was that we did went ahead and finished up the rest of the NCAA tournament. The Kansas Jayhawks are going to be your national champions. They had 2 guys that were 90 overalls and could possibly be making their way to the NBA. They had an impressive record from the get-go. They were one of the best teams in the country, wire to wire. The player of the year, however, does go to Danko Ziegler, a junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. He played for the North Carolina Tar Heels and nearly put up a double-double any given day. He finishes with 28 points and 9 rebounds over the course of his junior campaign. He might be declaring for the NFL draft as well. As for the mid-major player of the year, this goes to the best player that is from those mid-major ranks, and it's going to go to the guard out of Trenton, Inlen Nara. He's from UNC Greensboro. Dude also finished with nearly a double-double with 25 points and 9 rebounds. Coach of the year is going to go to the Kansas head coach. He has put together an amazing resume, and that is, of course, going to continue. Defensive player of the year is actually going to go to the center out of Alabama A&M. This is Leon Bowens, who is a senior. Not a huge offensive threat, but he cleans up boards, and he finishes with 2.5 blocks a game. Big man of the year also is going to go to Danko Ziegler. Freshman of the year goes to Darryl Strong, the Oregon product who plays for UCLA. He finished with 19 points in his freshman year. And then here's a quick look at those first team All-Americans. I don't expect us to have any All-Americans on this particular list, but hey, shout out to High Point for getting a guy in here, as does Fordham and Notre Dame. So that's interesting to see. No freshman All-Americans in here as well. At the conference level, the head coach of Bradley does win the Coach of the Year honors. He did lead Bradley to the NIT this year. Disappointing end to the season. However, Tommy Southall of Northern Iowa does get to be the player of the year in this conference. The senior out of St. Paul finished with 15 points and nearly double-digit rebounds a game. Freshman of the year is going to go to Willis Goodman, a freshman, obviously, because it's freshman player of the year. He finished with 10 points, was a good contributor for the Southern Illinois squad. And then here's the first team all-conference list. We do not have anybody on the first team, but we do have at least one person on the second team list. It's going to go to Scott Smalls, our senior point guard. He finished the year with 10 points and 6 assists a game, plus multiple steals as well. Was a guy that constantly was a leader for our team this year. And then here's a quick look at the freshman all-conference guys as well here in year number 1. And it just goes to show that year number 2 is going to be difficult because we are going to lose a couple of our seniors. These guys were all starters over the course of the season. Scott Smalls, who was all conference, but then you're also losing Layden Baraseka, who did have a decent season, didn't finish on a high note, but he did have a decent season for sure. And then Justin Credible as well, who was kind of that gadget player for us, really found that shooting touch as we got into the second half of the season. But with that being said, guys, we are going to head and wrapping up things here in year number 1. Next episode, we will have the off-season recap where, we take a look through the rest of the off-season, see what's going to go down. Looking forward to see what awaits us here in year number 2. I hope you guys are excited for that. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. If you do happen to be brand new to the channel, this is John Shake Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.